Nigi mindi tsangwirin in idi bewachin monghali in sijudul. Lo chuduk di chinale ninjabji. Di hema beginning na di aluni tebering di atsil lishum di beyo beginning na di. Aluni kejimle kogi amchumche di nami samidangi sijudul.
एक दिन त मलाई बामे सरिन्जल पनि अब यस्तो के खुट्टाले हिँड्नु नसकेर यस्तो यस्तोमा हिर्काएर बन्चर हिर्काएर अन्त म उठ्नु नसक्ने हुँदाखेरि म चार पाउले पनि हिँड्यो म्याडम अन्त त्यस्तो पनि गरेर म तर मर्नु त मरिनँ मेरो मर्नु थिएन रहेछ.
She had a small baby with her. She had 2 small children with her. She was dazed. She didn't even know where she was coming. She was helped by RBP and our police and our volunteers. They evacuated her here to Thimphu for our services. 15 years of her married life, she never once felt that she was married woman. She never once felt that she was a mother, though she has given birth to 5 children.
Ani dibiringanlo ya dabini ani dibachin mitunime nga amchi ibdidi maple mide ese ani no santa be ani dibiringala nga kolchi ani yale an jutinji omji asem ding joy sejdola.
We got to know that she wants to talk to somebody, but she cannot do it. So we called her up through our volunteers and we sort of encouraged her to come forward.
Gadim chibe mo chugeni information jingop desu pada subego byube watching the lebecham chingachigi police ta court no tango byube watching cham chipyong to.
If a woman is not seen as fulfilling her homely duties, then I think this is what the women have said in the service that were done, that if I have burnt the dinner or if the children have not been sent to school all time, then my husband has every right to beat me up.
The new definition of domestic violence that's contained in the DVPA more accurately tracks the perceived reality of survivors of domestic violence, where, of course, domestic violence doesn't just happen or doesn't just begin when there's physical or sexual abuse, right? A lot of times it's preceded by years of or months of serious emotional and psychological abuse or financial abuse where one partner exerts his or her control through financial or emotional means.
Renew selaptalo dan machida dewa bomso dira chidi naptin di la counseling te aniti machigi shapto dish te ngachira mako nankisu chikadum chatim nole machi timgi katole te namra isa shuru te laptin gi delu machigi jumin gi denalo tsolmalo tashuse te bere.
We also have an emergency shelter. It's called the Gawiling Happy Home, where we provide protection to women and children who have actually witnessed violence or also need, a shelter for them to be away from their abusive husbands and families. And in the shelter, we have a health unit where we also cater to the health needs of the residents of the center. We have a vocational center where we try to provide them with vocational skills, not only to rehabilitate them, but also to reintegrate them back to their communities after they leave the center.
How can we, at the end, provide help to the MHF victims? Support? So can you elaborate on support?
If they have a Geok center, they can give a shelter in that. Yeah. They can have a space.
Something where, like a crisis center.
If a crisis arises.
We hope that our people will go back to the field and try to look into all these issues and at least play a proactive role in bringing down the sufferings of people.
I would request others that they can be a volunteer in their own capacity. They can make a difference, and I'll continue doing that. And I'll encourage others also to help everybody in need in their own small ways.
The people should not wait for the agency to come and stop domestic violence from happening, because it should come from the individual, and it's the role and the responsibility of individual. The person who actually witnessed such kind of domestic violence should come forward and make a difference in the life of a victim or survivors.
These units have been set up to provide a more conducive environment for women and children, where the staffs in these offices are trained in women and child-friendly procedures, how to talk to a woman when a woman comes to with the case, be non-judgmental, and to support every victim or the survivor who comes to seek help.
The training of CBSS volunteers will help to reach at the consensus among the parties to choose mediation instead of court. So far we have trained almost 1,500 local leaders, and if you look at the reports, it has shown that there is a positive impact by reducing caseloads before the court.
While Ministry of Health talks about a lot of awareness on exclusive breastfeeding, pap smear screening and all, this work actually cannot be done fully by our health workers. So we actually use the MSTF CBSS members to actually advocate and support them to get these services.
Most times, if the mother is a victim of violence, the children are also victim of violence. They could be either physically beaten up by a drunken father. Even if the father doesn't touch them, they see the mother going through a lot of violence, so there's other forms of emotional violence. The impact worsens when it comes to young girls. These girls are also highly vulnerable to sexual abuse from their fathers, from their stepfathers.
Renew and UNFPA really looked into what could be the best possible tool to get out into the field so that women, men and every community understood that this is not all right. So we came up with a project called Hishidawa.
Chugi mapki subje bemiso nyengo betsubi timlu yu timlu diya nanghe subje nyengo chatim nitung chusum chenma serlabi.
Tara happens to be the deity who each and every individual in Bhutan worships, and we consider her the one who gives the services immediately. So we had that in our mind, and that's how our committee came up with. Said, okay, let's work on Tara. Let's imagine that it's a Tara. The protagonist is a Tara, and then we gave her a name that Tara had before she was enlightened. So that's how Hishidawa came.
Ni om Hishidawa takanga tatinga nanga meoksa dang waksaga wangchaga korgi तिथुङ थाप्दिन थुमुथुर चस्नी चोकन खे शुलिगिला
श्रोताहरू हामी भुटानको बाल हेरचाह तथा संरक्षण अधिनियममा उल्लेखित बाल बालिकाहरूका हक अधिकारको जानकारीबारे हिस्सेदावा 53औं श्रृङ्खला लिएर उपस्थित भएका छौं।
मातापिताहरूले आफ्ना नानीको राम्रो बाल्यकाल कसरी सुनिश्चित गर्न सक्छन्? कसैले मलाई भन्न सक्नुहुन्छ?
असल शिक्षा दिएर,
राम्रो हेरचाह गरेर,
अनि सुरक्षित वातावरण सृजना गरेर.
The Ishidawa series, which talks about the Marriage Act, which talks about the violence against children and women, bringing out the people's grievances, bringing out their social issues and social concerns, so that people out there, the listeners, are able to, get the grasp of it, and then somehow try to, educate themselves. I mean, every one of them.
I have one of my friends who is a single father, and he has 2 kids between age of 8 and 6. 2 of them are religiously following all the cartoon strips in the paper, and the elder son is already quite knowledgeable about all the laws that we have, the child protection laws and all. So it's quite a positive thing that it brings about.
Kids were happy, okay, it was animation and cartoon. Then later part, the parents started, okay, getting the information, okay, and they're getting educated. Okay, then they felt it, okay, this is important, it's just not a cartoon. Then they started watching continuously. They're covering all the episodes, and if they have any doubt, then okay, they could always refer and they can check the YouTube or the Facebook video, and they can keep on checking.
We developed a drawing book for children, so that we introduce Ishidawa to children, so that when they grow up, they know who Ishidawa is.
This was a hit. Some kids, they got the copies, and then in some parts they didn't get, so they were coming to us asking for the book, and then we have directed them to go to Renew and get a copy.
The moment they hear Ishidawa, the moment they see Ishidawa's picture, they know, oh, it's about gender equality, oh, it's about say no to violence.
We believe in working with government, civil society to bring about gender transformative programs and policies that could ensure that all human beings are looked at equally across all policies, procedures, actions, rights. And as part of that, Renew's program of Yashadawa is completely aligned with what we do both regionally as well as globally, and of course at the national level with the government of Bhutan.
The International Planned Parenthood Federation has been a blessing in disguise for us, because through them we're able to look at the capacity building needs of our own staff, because there's so much that we need to learn. When we talk about domestic violence, it has got a lot to do with women's rights, and in particular SRHR rights.
We are giving away messages on gender-based violence or substance abuse or teen pregnancy, and we're able to cover it really well, and I think audience are getting the message. And at the same time, the volunteers who are getting trained in theatre, they're performing, there's a major transformation going within in a way where the mind, body, soul actually comes together to create a larger change and transformation in the society.
We get all the technical expertise and assistance that we need from IPPF, and they have opened up a wide range of horizons for us to work on.
Pianibinem sim chapchunai sijidola tilinga lorun ge patsin sidai hema dajimle anzum debde mitube se noksam tambe nga pechachi daila.
We have always looked up to the country Bhutan for its National Happiness Index, and I think they have done a lot of great social changes in the country which could be replicated across the world.
एग्रिकल्चर फार्ममा लागेर चाहिँ मलाई अहिले कान्छा बुढासँग बिहे गरेर नानी एउटा छ नानी छ अब अगाडिको 5 वटा छ अहिलेको एउटा छ 6 वटा नानी छ अब यसो गरेर हामी काम गरेर नानीहरु पाल्दै छौं अब यहाँदेखि उता चाहिँ अब पैसा कमाएर गाउँमा गएर घर बनाउने विचार गरेको मैडम
घर परिवारमाथि दुःख नदिनु र बालबच्चालाई पनि अति ओभर दुःख नदिनु अलिअलि चटकपिटी खतरखुतरु दुःख हुन्छ तर दुःख अचम्मै बेसी चाहिँ दुःख नगर्दिनु सुखमा राख्नु पर्दा चाहिँ नानी खुसी पार्नु आमा खुसी पार्नु
It is my hope that every responsible individual will come forward and take a stand to discourage the practice of violence against women and children in your community.